wa Valentino unapatikana maeneo ya Mbezi Beach huku. Ukipita tu kwa Zena basi ulizia mtaa mmoja unaitwa mtaa wa Valentino. Guess what guys? Guess what watazamaji wetu wa Manara TV? Ni nini hasa kimetuleta kutoka ofisi zetu za Salamanda Posta mpaka huku Mbezi Beach? Tumemfuata kiungo mshambuliaji wa klabu ya Yanga Princess Keida ambaye anaishi humu ndani katika mtaa wa Valentino. Twende ndani ili tuweze kufahamu ni kiasi gani hasa mlitaka kusikia mengi kutoka kwake baada ya muda mrefu kupita. Ungana na mimi. Yes, finally nimefika na humu ndani mtazamaji wa Manara TV ndo anapoishi Keida Wilson, mchezaji wa Yanga Princess. Kwa mbali utakuwa unamuona akinisubiri, maana nimekuwa nikimpigia simu sana kuhakikisha leo hakuna kucancel schedule yoyote, lazima atupokee sisi Manara TV. Keida Wilson,
hello.
There she is. Na tumefika sasa, hapa ndo anapopatikana mchezaji wa Yanga Princess, Keida Wilson.
How are you?
Welcome.
Yes, karibu tena. Karibu.
Kiswahili bwana. Mambo vipi?
Poa. Mzima.
Habari za masiku?
Salama.
Salama kabisa. Salama. Wananchi, they want to hear something from you. How do you feel? It's been a while now.
Yes, it's been a long time. We're just getting ready for preparations for the next half of the league. But yeah, this is my home. I'm very happy to have you guys. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bwana, tuzame ndani tukafahamu mengi sana kuhusiana na Keida. Apart from interview, you have something there. Like we talked, my food is ready?
Of course, yeah, come in, yeah.
Twende ndani. Naam, mtazamaji wa Manara TV, tayari tupo ndani ambapo anaishi mchezaji wa Yanga Princess Keida Wilson. Ni muda mrefu sana hatujapata bahati ya kuzungumza naye maendeleo yake ya soka katika ardhi yetu ya Tanzania na upande wa Yanga Princess. Kuna mengi sana ambao tunaenda kuyasikia siku hii ya leo baada ya muda mrefu. Nikikumbuka mara ya mwisho ilikuwa ni uwanja wa Uhuru. Sijajua imepita ni miezi mingapi, pengine ataweza kunikumbusha kidogo. Keida, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. It's been a while now.
Yes, it has been.
I remember the last time we had an interview, it was in Uhuru Stadium, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, yeah.
It has been for 5 to 7 months.
Yes.
So far, you can remind me, for how long now have you been in Tanzania?
Since September.
Since September.
Yes.
So it's like 7 months, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Tell us about our country.
It's very nice. I've been able to get used to it.
Yes.
The heat is, I think I'll always struggle with the heat, but it's gotten better. The food's really good. With my teammates, we've been able to mesh. I've been able to get used to the speed of play, get used to the physicality. But it's been really good. It's been fun.
Yes. I remember the first time you told us that among the people who helped you and developed your football issues in Young Africans is your uncle, Amri Kiemba. Tell us first, when Kiemba told you about Yanga Princess and our football, how did you feel yourself, and so far, how can you say about Yanga Princess? Yeah,
my uncle Kiemba, he came and lived with us for some time. And it was just inspiring to hear about his professional football career as a Yanga player and also a Simba player. But Yanga is it's a very professional club. It's very fun, and it's it's really cool to be part of the professional experience.
Yes.
And I think, being part of Yanga is something bigger than just a team. It's also something part of the community, and it's part of the country too. So I think it's just been amazing.
How was it difficult joining Yanga Princess for the first time? Let's start with the training, being around your friends, your players also, and even inside the pitch. How was it difficult for your side?
Yeah, that first training that I came to Yanga, it was probably one of the hardest trainings I've ever had in my life. It was very difficult. Yes. But now that we've gotten used to it and I've been able to get fit and get used to the speed of play, it's gotten much better. Obviously, the communication with my teammates is a little difficult because some only speak Swahili, some only speak French. So I've been able to get to or learn some new terms of Swahili. I know they've learned a little bit of English. and it helps that a lot of my coaches, they speak English as well. So, yeah, it's good.
That's very awesome. And tell us about our training grounds. Is it also difficult? Because we have been seeing you also, you had traveled with the Yanga Princess. I remember, was it in Mwanza?
Yes, we've been.
You played in Mwanza, you played here in Dar es Salaam. The difference that you see, the playing in Dar es Salaam, Uhuru, Azam Complex, and outside Dar es Salaam, how is it?
It's good. Yeah, like our training grounds for trainings, they've been a little bit difficult, but we're at a good training spot right now. But the Mwanza Stadium was good. You know, there's not a ton of seating, so it's a little bit different than maybe the Azam Stadium. But training at Uhuru and then playing at Azam, I think playing at Azam is probably one of my favorite fields ever. It's very nice.
So how do you feel when the coaches tell you that tomorrow you'll be playing at Azam Complex?
I enjoy. I get excited because I know I'm playing on a good field. There's probably, yes, I get comfortable because I know what I'm going to be playing on. I know what to expect. So it just makes me excited, and I get maybe my nerves calm down a little bit because I know I'll be playing there.
So far, the starting 11 for Keida, Wilson at Yanga Princess, how can we count about it, and how many matches have you already played for Yanga Princess?
I've played since the Simba game, so I think it's been maybe 5 or 6.
Yes.
So a good half of the league, but yeah, we're preparing for the second round. So right now we're just, you know, making our preparations, and it's going well, and, you know, hopefully I'll be in that starting lineup, but it's whatever the team needs, whatever fits the team, but yeah.
Tell us about your position. Which position do you play, and are you comfortable with the position and the goals so far? How many goals and assists that you have contributed for Yanga Princess since the beginning of the Women Premier League here in Tanzania?
Yeah, so I play the 10,
yes,
or the 8, either one. Yes. And, you know, I'm very comfortable at any of the center mid positions, even the 6. But I find that I really like the 10. I can be more creative. I have a little bit more freedom in the attacking third. So I really like the 10. But then also just like with my center mids, I have a really good group of center mids. Irene, Psyche, Nasma, we have a really good mesh. And sorry, what was your second question? So the second part.
My second question is all about the goals.
Oh,
so
yes.
Tell us, how many goals and assists have you contributed for the club?
So far, I've only had 3 goals.
3 goals.
Yes, and
within 5 matches.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Tell
us about the first goal. How did you feel? I remember the first game you scored 1 goal, and the second game you scored twice.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Yes. So my first goal, I scored it against Bunda Queens, and that, you know, that was a really good game, I think, to get my first goal in, because we'd just come off of a little bit of a losing streak, so we were like, we have to win this game. We gotta, you know, have a good outcome. And so for me to score the 1-0, the winning goal, I think it was just such a fun experience and such a motivator that I just felt like I could do it. And, you know, all my teammates were there to help me celebrate, so it impacted me a lot. It just, you know, I'll always remember that goal as my first goal in Tanzania. So it was really awesome. And then my second 2, or my second and third goals, those were against Gita Gold, and that was just a really fun game. I think that game we just meshed really well. It was a good game for us. We were connecting really well as a team, and then just to put the ball in the back of the net was really awesome and really fun.
Do you love mostly scoring the goal or assisting for the team?
Honestly, I think assisting is more personal, like, gratification. I think it's really fun, and then being able to, you know, there's somebody else who gets to celebrate with you, so I think it's really fun. But scoring's awesome. Scoring feels really good.
People say that it's quite different and difficult for a player, especially who is coming out of Africa. Let's talk about Europe, Asia, and other continents. It's very, very difficult playing here in Africa, especially to a country like Tanzania. How is it to Keida? Is it much also difficult on your side, or somehow now you can overcome these difficult challenges that people they talk about?
Yeah, I think everyone can overcome certain challenges, but coming from just a club experience from the U.S., it's very different. I think it's much more competitive here. The speed of play is much more faster. Everyone's very physical. We talk about it in practice a lot. Even for a lot of us girls, you know, we'll still be challenged with those physical abilities that some of the other teams have. But right now, I think I've gotten into a groove and I've gotten more comfortable. So I think I'm more used to it. So it's been good. But at the beginning, coming from just a club stage and maybe not as competitive stage, it was difficult, but you know, now it's gotten better.
The celebration. Let's talk about it. It's something unique. I've never seen that. Huh? Tell us, you know, when you watch that kind of the celebration, it's just like an African style.
Oh.
So is that one of players of Yanga Princess maybe taught you, or it's your own style that you came with?
It's very much my own. I've done that little stretch and I've done my little eye thing since I was young. You know, I've done it since I was little. So, and even when I was in the U.S., I would do it before every half start. I would do my stretch, and then I didn't have a celebration when I scored, but now it is. So I think it's really fun. But yeah, I started when I was young, and then even people in the U.S., they would kind of joke around with me, and they'd be, Keita, why are you doing that? But then I did it at the Simba game. And then my teammates, they started joking with me, and they were like, Keita, what is this? And we kind of just made a joke about it. So then they were like, Keita, when you score, you should do it. So when I did it, everyone knew that I was going to do it. So they all kind of celebrated with me, and it was a good joke, but it was really fun.
We would like to see it after the interview. You would like to show us again how is it comfortable. Keita, all the matches that you're playing at Azam Complex, always your parents, your family is always behind you. Tell us, do you always call them to come, or themselves, they are happy to support you through your games?
I'm very fortunate enough and very grateful that my family is always willing to come watch me. So I'm glad that they come on their own terms. My siblings, they all love football. My parents, my mom's a coach, and then my dad, you know, he supports all of his kids. My parents are very supportive. So I'm very grateful that they're so willing.
It's a sport family.
Yes, it is.
Wow,
yeah. My two younger brothers, they're very into football. My sister, she's a very good dancer. So we're all in the athletics, but my parents are very supportive of all of us.
Where did you begin with these football issues? At which age?
I started when I was about 4 or 5, so very young, just, you know, just playing for fun. But then I started more competitive when I was around 10, 11, so then that's when I got into more serious soccer.
Here in Africa, in our country, Tanzania, it's very difficult for a parent to let his son or her daughter to play football. Like she or he will miss his educations. On your side, how did you part-time your time for football and studies?
It's quite difficult trying to separate school and soccer and being able to do both of them. But I've just gotten in a good schedule, and that, you know, I come home from, you know, doing football and putting my focus into football. But then I come home, I rest, I can eat, but then I set away a certain amount of time every day to knock out my school and just get it done. I am doing online school, so it's a little bit different. I don't have to take travel time to go into class or back from class. So it's very convenient, but it is hard. I'm trying to get my associate's degree, so it's been difficult, but I'm very grateful that I've been able to do it, and that, you know, God was able to help me through it, and God was able to give me the chance to do football and school.
Shall we expect Ada for the next seasons in Yanga Princess?
Sorry, what?
Shall we expect you for the next seasons?
Currently, so I will be going back to the U.S. At the end of the league. But I'll be doing my studies in the U.S., so you probably won't expect me next season, but maybe sometime in the future, inshallah, I will be maybe back in Africa playing.
So far, tell us, what's the good moment that you remember the most?
Probably the Gita Gold game. I think that one was just so much fun.
Tell us about it. Tell us about it. How
was
it?
Well, we came off the Bunda game, so we were still kind of on a high. We had just won, so we were like, hey, we need to make sure that, you know, we win this game and we get a good outcome. And then, you know, all of our teammates, we were just feeling ourselves. It was a night game. We were under the lights, and we just had a lot of energy. And so we were all very excited to get out on the field. And then when I scored my first goal, it was really fun. We were able to celebrate. And then when the second one came, it was just, it was kind of one right after the other. So I think we were all super excited. And then, Psyche and Mary, they grabbed me and took me out of the cameras, and we all celebrated. It was so much fun. It was very fun.
I think you're the third in the league. Third or the second?
Okay.
Simba Queens, among the topest and the strongest team in Women's League. How is it difficult playing against them?
Yeah, Simba as well as JKT, all the teams, they're very, very competitive teams. Simba, they have a lot of really good players, and you can see, just looking at the team, you can see their strengths. But they're a very good team. They've gotten good coordination. And, in our past game, in our first game, they were able to have that, that win for them as well as JKT. But this, we're hoping that this round has a little bit of a different outcome and that we can, find those results. But they're both very, very good teams.
As you see the league, do you think Yanga can achieve something this season? Yanga Princess, let's start first with the Yanga Princess.
Yeah, I definitely think we can achieve goals that we've set for ourselves. And I think that it's important that we kind of just, even if those goals maybe get cut short a little bit, or even if they're a little bit different than what we didn't expect. But I think there will be good results. We've changed our training situation. We've changed some things. So I think there might be different results.
That is all about Yanga Princess and Keida Wilson. Few minutes for the senior team now, Yanga. And as we speak right now, the draw takes place to identify Yanga, which team is going to face in the quarterfinal of the Champions League here in Africa. It's the first time for Yanga after almost 25 years ago. How do you wish to see young Africans progressing with this Champions League season?
I want them to win, very badly. I think we came from the U.S. and the MLS is there, but for sure, no one cares about Yanga as much as Tanzania cares about professional men's soccer. So I think it's so fun getting to see the community cheer on Yanga, and I want them to do incredibly well. Going to their last game, we were able to go to their last game.
So apart from playing these Yanga Princess games, you sometimes have time to watch the games of the senior team?
Yes, well, yeah, we're all, we're soccer players, but we're also just humans, so, we like to have fun. But yeah, our team was able to go to their game, and, Pacome was just balling out. Aziz, they all did phenomenal, and it was so fun to see them get that, like a 5-0 win or 4-0. And it was just so much fun. But yeah, I hope they do incredibly well in the quarterfinals.
We came there now. Tell us, players that you know from Yanga Senior?
So we met Skudu and we met Aziz Ki, but then, and I think Aziz Ki is probably just one of my favorite players to watch right now. But then also Pacome, he's been just on fire, so he's been really fun to watch.
Maybe among these senior teams, have you ever had some time to talk with them? What do they advise you with your football career?
Yeah, so when we were able to have a meeting with Skudu and Aziz Ki, it was just so motivating to hear their, what they had to say to us. And Aziz Ki and Skudu, they both said, lean on God for help if we ever need it, but then also just making sure that we do the little things correct. So, like our fitness, our touches, making sure that we're doing things on our own outside of practice and making sure that we control how we play and not necessarily the entire team. But yeah, just pushing each other and motivating each other.
Do you think Yanga can make it again, winning the league title and doing perfect for the Champions League?
For sure. I think they can definitely win. I think when we came here, we saw good results, but then they've just kept climbing higher and higher, so for sure.
3 goals for Keida right now.
Yes.
Until the end of the season, how many goals do we expect from you?
I don't know how many, I'm going to try my hardest to...
We want to know your target, Like these big teams, always they have target from the contract. And while playing like, okay, I'm signing this contract, but I think if I make it to 10, you'll pay me this amount. So let's know about Keida. What's your target?
I don't have a target. I don't think even our coach has a target for any players. I don't know. Just because, football is such a it's kind of a crazy game, so you don't always know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have a target. I just want to see the team succeed, and I just want to see myself get better, whether that's, you know, helping the team from the sidelines or helping the team on the field, whatever it is. But I just want to see the team succeed and participate in that any way I can.
Have you ever played out of your position?
Yeah, in the U.S. I played center back, and then and then mostly the 6. But then also in our high school league, I played the 9.
How is it difficult playing out of the position? Maybe for the first time, tell us when you played the number 9, tell us when you played the center back position, and when you regularly play for your team.
Yeah, I think playing like the 9 or center back or any other position outside of, you know, the 10 or the 8 or the 6, I think it takes a little bit of time getting used to that position. So after some practice, I'll be okay, but center back is much more of a athletics position, but it's also about your internal, like, oh, I got this word, I got him. But then forward is also, it's very, I would say it's a very hard position just because you have to score and you're the only player with your back to the goal. So it was a difficult position, but it's very fun. You know, you get to score a lot of goals, you get to be goal hungry. But center mid is probably my favorite position just because of how creative you get to be, and that the ball kind of centers around you and around the field. So I think it's very fun.
Few words to Dad. I've been seeing him supporting you always. Such kind of a good man. Tell us about your dad. How do you feel? He's supporting you everywhere. Everywhere that you see Keida, you'll see this big man beside him. Tell us about it.
Yeah, my dad, he's always been in athletics. He was an American football player when he was in college. So, you know, he's always been in the athletics, and he's so supportive, and he's my #1 fan. And, you know, I love him so much, and he not only helps me so much, but he helps me and my siblings, and it's just, I couldn't ask for more just because he gives so much of us, or so much of himself to us. And, you know, he takes so much time, and for sure this playing for Yanga and having all my trainings, having any meetings we have, it takes a lot of time out of my parents' day. And so for him to be so willing to help me, I'm very grateful for him, and, you know, I love him a lot, and I know he loves me, so.
Tell him that now, he's listening to you.
I love you so much. I'm so grateful for you. You're the best dad in the world.
Let's finish now. Dad speaks Swahili. I'm like, Dad, how is it difficult? I'm trying my best, but I can make it.
Yeah, well, we try to say little words, you know, when we at dinner, tuombe, you know,
yeah, okay, we try. Tell us, tuombe, what does that mean, tuombe?
To pray.
To pray.
Yes.
That's good. Huh? Another word that you know in Swahili?
You know, I know all the little, the first things, so like mambo, poa,
habari,
nzuri,
okay,
or salama.
Salama kabisa.
Kabisa.
So that's you understand now.
Yes.
You keep learning day by day.
Yes, just day by day.
Okay, your favorite food?
My favorite food is probably beans and rice or makange.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So can you cook now beans, Tanzanian beans?
I can cook them a little bit, but they're probably not very good. I haven't had much practice, but I've been able to learn.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how about the weather? It's too hot.
Right now it's too hot. Yeah. Yes, right now it's too hot, and even though I've gotten used to it, yes. I don't think I'll ever get used to this kind of weather. It's so hot.
See when you're inside and outside.
Yes, like right now it's good. It's very nice, but you step outside and you can't breathe. But yeah, you can even see my face. I get red, and it's too sunburned.
So it's because of being very hot.
Yes, I'll put sunscreen on to protect my face, but I still get sunburn at training.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keida, last few questions.
Yes.
Apart from football, mostly how have you used your time here in Tanzania? Because you got some few months before you get back for studies and football in USA. Tell us about our country outside football. What have you learned? What have you done? And what the most have you enjoyed in our country?
Yeah, I think, so our family, we've been able to travel to Arusha. Yeah. We've traveled there twice. And then, I mean, in football, I've been able to go to Mwanza and Dodoma, which I think Mwanza was so cool. It was so fun being there. And then being in Arusha is totally different from being in Dar. It's crazy the differences.
Crazy,
yeah, but it's one of my favorite places. I think Arusha is so nice. And I think we went there for a boys' soccer tournament. So it was just fun seeing the different levels of play.
Yeah.
We've also been on safari, so we were able to go see lions, elephants. That was one of the coolest experiences of my life. That was so much fun. But yeah, just being here, being able to, I've never lived by the beach, so it's really cool to be able to, I could walk out to the beach right now. It's really fun. Yeah. But then just having different kinds of friends, you know, I've never had friends from outside my country, so having friends from Nigeria, from Burkina Faso,
Sure.
Congo, Tanzania, it's really cool and really fun to interact with them. And to have them help me, they help me a lot, and they've set kind of an example for me, so it's really cool to be able to learn from them and build off of them.
When is the league began again?
It's supposed to begin at the end of March.
End of March.
Yes.
So what can you promise wananchi fans?
We promise that we'll be able to put our, you know, our heart and our soul into this next part of the league, and that we're working really hard right now to get our results that we, you know, for future. But yeah, just keep believing us, and you know, we'll keep pushing.
If someone tells you about wananchi, what do you understand?
That's team of the citizens,
Team of
you
the
know,
citizens.
team of the people.
Now you come, now you come.
Yeah.
Yes, mtazamaji wa Manara TV, sina la ziada. Nilikuwa na mchezaji wa Yanga Princess Keida. Najua kwamba ulikuwa na hamu sana na shauku ya kufahamu mengi sana kuhusiana na Keida, yuko wapi, Yanga Princess imefanya nini baada ya muda mrefu kidogo ligi kusimama. Ligi ya wanawake inarejea mwishoni mwa mwezi wa 3. Ungependa kumfahamu Keida atafanya nini? Na je, ufungaji wake, you know, people they have been calling you Haaland.
Yes.
Do you love that?
Yeah, I think it's cool. It's fun to have a
tell
name.
us about your role model.
My role model,
Yeah.
probably from the U.S. We have really good players, and really good player named Julie Ertz.
Yes.
She's a very good 6. Virgil van Dijk's one of my favorites. Fabinho is one of my favorites. They're all really good soccer players, and you know, being called Holland is really fun, and he's an awesome soccer player. But I probably look more towards Fabinho and the midfielders.
Nafikiri umesikia hapo mtazamaji wa Manara TV. Ukiachana tu na yeye kumuita Haaland kwa sababu anafunga sana magoli, pia anavutiwa sana na uchezaji wa Virgil van Dijk, anavutiwa pia na uchezaji wa Fabinho. Kwa ni wewe tu kuchagua kumfananisha Keida na mchezaji gani. Jina langu ni Pablo Almas. Ni matumaini yangu kuwa utakuwa umefurahia na kilio chako, kiu yako itakuwa imesikilizwa na Manara TV siku hii ya leo, baada ya kupata exclusive interview moja kwa moja. Tumemfuata na tumemfikia na ametupokea. Hakika tunashukuru sana kwa kuendelea kuichagua Manara TV katika vipindi vyote. Jina langu ni Pablo Almas. Hii ni Manara TV. Nyuma ya kamera ni mchapakazi pekee anayenifanya ninang'aa, sura bado inakataa. Amani Ndimbo. Shukrani.